In the quaint town of Ravenswood, nestled deep within the woods, a group of friends gathered for a night of supernatural exploration. Adam, Sarah, Jake, and Emma, all fascinated by the unknown, decided to test the boundaries of the spirit world, armed with a Ouija board, candles, and a sense of trepidation. They sought to connect with the ethereal realm. The friends gathered in Emma's ancestral home, an old Victorian mansion rumored to harbor mysterious energies. As the clock struck midnight, they settled into the dimly lit parlor, the glow of candles flickering in the shadows. The Ouija board lay before them, an eerie invitation to the supernatural. "Are we really doing this?" Sarah asked, her voice betraying a mix of excitement and nervousness. "Come on, it's just for fun," Adam reassured, though his eyes betrayed a hint of uncertainty. As they placed their hands on the planquette, anticipation hung in the air. The room seemed to grow colder, and an otherworldly hush enveloped them. "Is there anyone here with us?" Jake hesitated before uttering the question. At first, the planquette moved slowly, spelling unseen random letters. A sense of skepticism lingered until the letters formed coherent words: DJINN. The friends read in unison, their eyes widening with a mixture of disbelief and fear. "What the hell? Is this a joke?" Emma's voice trembled as she glanced around the room. The planquette continued to glide across the board, spelling out a series of cryptic messages. The entity identified itself as Ahriman, a jinn bound to the mansion centuries ago. The friends, caught between fascination and fear, exchanged uneasy glances. "What do you want from us?" Sarah asked, her voice barely above a whisper. "I seek release from the shackles that bind me. Perform the ritual, and I shall grant you a single wish," the planquette spelled out, the words hanging heavily in the air, curiosity mixed with trepidation. The group agreed to perform the ritual. Ahriman guided them through an intricate process involving ancient symbols and chanting. As the ritual unfolded, the room pulsated with an eerie energy, and the air thickened with an otherworldly presence. In the midst of the ritual, the temperature plummeted, and the candles flickered violently. Shadows danced along the walls as an ethereal figure materialized before them. Then, Ahriman the Jinn stood before the group, his eyes a mesmerizing shade of azure. "You have done well," Ahriman spoke, his voice echoing through the room. "Now, state your wish." The friends hesitated, exchanging uncertain glances. Sarah, compelled by a sudden burst of courage, stepped forward. "We wish for wealth beyond imagination." Ahriman's laughter reverberated, sending shivers down their spines. "Wealth, the eternal desire of mortals, so be it." In an instant, the room transformed. Luxurious fabrics adorned the walls, and golden treasures materialized before their eyes. The friends, initially awestruck, soon realized the nature of their wish. The wealth came at a cost. Their souls were now bound to Ahriman, forever entwined with the jinn's insatiable hunger for power. As the reality of their predicament sank in, panic set in. The once opulent room twisted into a nightmarish realm, shadows closing in around them. "What have we done?" Jake exclaimed, his voice trembling. Ahriman, now a malevolent force, reveled in the despair of the friends. "You sought riches, and riches you shall have for all eternity." The mansion, once a symbol of opulence, became a spectral prison. The friends, now trapped in a world between worlds, could only watch helplessly as their wish transformed into an unending nightmare. Days turned to nights, and the mansion became a haunted relic in Ravenswood. Locals spoke of the cursed estate, cautioning those who dared to approach. The once joyful laughter of friends was replaced by anguished cries, a haunting melody echoing through the ghostly halls as the friends' spectral forms drifted through the eternal darkness. They served as a chilling reminder that some wishes, when made in the presence of malevolent entities, could lead to an eternity of torment. Ravenswood, once a quiet town, bore witness to the consequences of summoning a jinn, a tale whispered in hushed tones, a warning to those who sought to tamper with the ancient forces beyond the veil. In the heart of Marrakech, Morocco, lived a young anthropology student named Leila. Drawn to the mystique of ancient cultures and folklore, Leila was captivated by the tales of jinn that echoed through the labyrinthine streets of the city. As she delved deeper into her studies, Leila discovered an ancient manuscript in a dusty corner of the city's oldest library, containing an intriguing ritual to communicate with the jinn. Fueled by both curiosity and a desire to prove her academic prowess, Leila decided to perform the ritual one moonlit night. She gathered the required materials and ventured to a secluded ancient ruin on the outskirts of the city. As she chanted the ancient words from the manuscript, an otherworldly wind swept through the ruin, and the air became charged with an eerie energy. In the midst of the incantation, a mysterious figure emerged from the shadows. A jinn, ancient and powerful, stood before Leila. His eyes glowed with an otherworldly light, and the air crackled with an intensity that sent shivers down her spine. Who dares disturb the slumber of the ancient ones? The jinn spoke, his voice a haunting melody. I am Leila, a seeker of knowledge, she replied, her voice trembling with a mix of fear and excitement. I wish to understand your work, to unravel the mysteries that lie beyond. The jinn, named Malik, regarded her with a mix of curiosity and amusement. Knowledge comes with a price. Human, are you prepared to pay it? Undeterred, Leila nodded. I seek understanding, no matter the cost. Malik, intrigued by her determination, agreed to share his knowledge. He began to reveal ancient secrets, unraveling the history of the jinn and the ethereal realm. They inhabited Leila, enthralled by the tales, continued to ask questions, each answer unveiling a new layer of the supernatural. As the night progressed, a subtle shift occurred. The once congenial atmosphere morphed into an ominous ambience. Malik's eyes gleamed with a malevolent light, and the air became heavy with an unspoken tension. You have trespassed into forbidden territories, Leila, Malik whispered, his voice now laced with a sinister undertone. A sudden realization struck her. The boundary between curiosity and danger had blurred. The ancient manuscripts never forewarned of the potential consequences of such communion. Fear gripped Leila as Malik's form wavered, revealing a more menacing visage. You have awakened forces that cannot be controlled. Your quest for knowledge has opened a gateway to the abyss. Panicking, Leila desperately pleaded, is there a way to undo what has been done? I did not intend to disturb the balance. Malik's laughter echoed through the ruins, chilling her to the bone. Some doors, once opened, can never be closed. You have unleashed forces that hunger for chaos and despair as the malevolent energy intensify. Shadows danced menacingly around Leela. The once benevolent JINN now exuded an aura of malevolence, and a horde of sinister entities materialized, drawn by the disturbance in the ethereal plane. In a desperate attempt to escape the encroaching darkness, Leela stumbled backward, only to find herself trapped within an ethereal cage. The whispers of the malevolent entities filled her mind. As they circled, feeding on her fear, you sought knowledge, and knowledge you shall receive. Malik hissed, his form contorting into something monstrous. You are now bound to the ethereal realm, cursed to witness the chaos you've unleashed. Leela, now a prisoner of her own curiosity, could only watch in horror as the malevolent entities, once restrained by ancient incantations, roam freely, spreading darkness and despair. The ruins, once a haven for knowledge seekers, now stood as a haunting reminder of the consequences of meddling with ancient forces. Leela's voice joined the haunting whispers in the wind, a spectral presence forever entwined with the malevolent spirits she had unwittingly unleashed upon the world. Ancient Tales of Marrakech added a new chapter, a cautionary tale for those who dare to peer beyond the veil of reality, a reminder that some mysteries were never meant to be unraveled. The brave hearts who set out to trace the magic and defeat the JINN finally came together collaboratively. They decided to convert all the energy in the city into positive energy and create a shield against the JINN. During this process, a sense of unity and solidarity emerged among the people. As a result of these efforts, the atmosphere in the city slowly began to clear. The JINN started to lose their power, and the dark energy dissipated. The determination of the brave individual saved their city and broke the power of darkness, liberating Istanbul. However, the people affected by the magic suffered deep wounds. The lost lives remained as a haunting memory in the city. Although the ghosts of Eid and others found peace, the lingering pain was still felt. Istanbul began to rise again after these dark events. The brave individuals had saved their city and overcome the darkness. Nevertheless, the city had an unforgettable past marked by a horrific series of events. Every moment became a reflection of the terrifying incidents engraved in the history of the city. Heading towards Istanbul, young Eid was filled with excitement for his university education. However, the new life in this big city didn't start as smoothly as expected. Upon arriving in Istanbul, Eid settled into the student dormitory. He made new friends, attended classes, but the city's crowd and chaos left him intoxicated with an unexpected sense of loneliness. One day, while wandering around an old bookstore near the dormitory, he found an intriguing old book. The book was an ancient text about JINN and magic. Unable to resist his curiosity, Eid bought the book and took it to his room. During the nights, he began exploring the mysterious pages. The book contained a ritual to summon JINN, and despite his disbelief, Eid decided to try the ritual. Completing the ritual simply, a strange atmosphere filled his room. For a moment, his room became icy cold, but Eid thought it was just an impressive atmosphere. However, Eid's life started to change strangely after that day. his shadow began to speak at night, and strange noises echoed around him. One night he saw Jinn following him and feeding on a dark energy surrounding him. When he woke up, he hoped it was just a nightmare. Nevertheless, things started to spiral out of control. Jinn began to follow him at night, making sleep nearly impossible as his shadow drew peculiar shapes. One day, he had a peculiar dream. He saw Jinn feeding on the dark energy surrounding him, gaining strength and returning. Each started to fear more and more. Under the influence of these strange events, his academic performance declined. He distanced himself from friends, and he felt like losing control of his life. One evening, he decided to reverse the ritual from the book. However, things went completely awry. After successfully completing the reversed ritual, a strange light appeared in his room. An uncontrollable jinn manifested. This time, they behaved aggressively and without restraint, terrified. Each tried to escape, but the jinn followed him. The room was filled with a dark energy, enveloping his surroundings. As he ran through the streets, the jinn started to dance around him, screaming. He was hit by a car and lost his life. However, even after his death, Aegis' soul couldn't find peace. The jinn seized his soul, dragging him into one of Istanbul's dark streets. The events did not end there. The jinn pursued the person who performed the magic fueled by malevolent energy. They were determined to haunt and seek revenge. The person who performed the magic continued with daily life, unaware of Aegis' death. However, one night, Aegis' ghost appeared in a dream, warning that the jinn were after them. The person woke up in fear. Living under the shadow of the jinn, strange sounds were heard at night, and peculiar figures appeared in their shadow. Eventually, the person realized they couldn't escape the dark entities. The jinn had turned their life into a nightmare as they wandered the streets of Istanbul. The shadow of the jinn enveloped them, causing them to disappear. Now their soul wandered lost in the dark streets just like each. Sometime later, the magic and the oppression of the jinn became palpable throughout the city. People walking the streets of Istanbul heard strange noises at night and witnessed jinn dancing in the shadows. The jinn had taken over the city, creating a dark atmosphere. Realizing that dark forces had taken over the city, some brave individuals tried to trace the past to uncover the truth behind Aegis' death and the identity of the person who performed the magic. However, with every step they took, the jinn grew stronger, burying those who stood against them in darkness, while the atmosphere in the city grew increasingly dense with darkness. Those under the influence of the jinn looked at each other in fear. Istanbul had become a nightmare city ruled by jinn and magic.